I've played COD since high school. The first one I bought was Modern Warfare 3, which I played for 2 years, and it was unlike anything else I had played at the time. I loved every minute of it. Sure, it could be frustrating, but that's the same with any video game. But since the dawn of the Xbox One and PS4, COD has gone downhill. Not sales-wise, God no. These games are always at the top of the sales charts, and are usually the best-selling game of the year. No, what I mean is the games themselves have lost their magic. They just don't play the same anymore. They don't have a soul, they just feel like a husk that's been made to sell microtransactions to you. And on top of this, the skill-based matchmaking and engagement-based matchmaking has been ramped up to such an extent that doing well in a match doesn't feel like an accomplishment anymore. It just feels like the game is throwing you a bone because it feels like the game has punished you enough. We all know how it works. You have a good game, the system recognizes that you have, so it throws you into matches with players better than you to get you to feel like crap. And then, when enough of those matches have gone through, it finally gives you a game that it thinks you'll do well in to get your dopamine rush, and then the cycle continues. It's not satisfying and everyone knows it. So, the game punishes you for playing and it treats you like an infinite ATM. You'd think the best thing to do is boycott Activision and never play the game again, right? Well, the thing is, nothing will happen. Why? Well, let me explain. You see, the social media landscape, be it Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and the like, are very loud with their complaints. That we can all agree on. SBMM is bad, microtransactions are predatory, bugs are still not fixed, yada yada yada. The list goes on. If you wanted an exhaustive list of the problems that we all have, we'd be here all day. But these complaints, unfortunately, are made by the vocal minority. We may be a very loud bunch, however, 80% of the COD player base don't go online and voice their complaints. The majority of players just play the game casually, whether it be for 2 hours after work or maybe 4 hours on a weekend when they have the time. They might be kids with school, parents with jobs, or people who just don't care about the state of the game. They're happy to just be able to sit down and play, and when a new bundle comes out that they like and they have the money, they'll just buy it. They don't care for boycotts or controversies or even the pricing. I see time and time again people all over social media show their disapproval over Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2. The current boycott of the week is over Warzone 1's shutdown in September. The week before that, it was the whole Nick Merckx situation. And then a couple of weeks before that, it was because fan clients were getting shut down. Activision are no strangers to our complaints. But when we have the casual majority who really just don't care, how do you expect anything to change? Activision don't care. They're making billions off of Warzone 2. It's why changes to the gameplay take so long. They hear you, loud and clear, but they don't need to change anything. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe that if you don't like something, you have the right to complain. I don't like how Modern Warfare 2 or Warzone 2 plays or handles. I hate the monetization, and I hate the lack of clear progression. I also despise how with every new season, the PC version loses stability and performance. I am with the vocal minority. However, I've seen all this before, for a long time. It's really depressing because I remember the good old days of MW3 and Black Ops 2. SBMM was still a factor, sure, but ping was king, so games always had a good mix of good and bad players. Microtransactions were still in their infancy, so they didn't plague the game. And when Black Ops 2 introduced camo packs, they were $2 for a camo for all of your weapons. The games felt genuinely fun, and they didn't feel like a chore, and they certainly didn't feel predatory. Unfortunately, we won't get that back. The golden days of online gaming are gone for good, and once we can pine for those days, expecting them to come back is a fool's errand. COD is just an example of the video game industry at large now. Profits have always been the incentive. Without them, organizations such as Activision cannot exist. However, the gaming sector no longer puts in any effort to hide the fact that they just want your money and time. They want you on the game for as long as possible, so they implement these systems such as the skill-based matchmaking mechanics to give you your occasional dopamine rush. And the longer you play the game, the more you're exposed to the plentiful monetization options, meaning you're way more likely to purchase. While this makes good business sense, in practice, it leads to a game that feels like it's against you all the time, whilst also wanting your entire bank account for simply starting the game. Most online games are like this. Even single-player games aren't exempt from this problem. All games nowadays have extra monetization, things such as unlock all passes, emotes, and of course battle passes. The industry has hit a point of insane monetization, and every single game is fighting for your attention. Gone are the days when you can buy a game and get everything with it. That's done. It's gone. But that's another topic for another video. I do wish the COD developers would listen to us. The ones complaining are the ones who are the most hardcore fans. We play the games the most. We sink countless hours into them. We know what games are broken, what maps are horrid, what bugs plague the game, and we're sick and tired of the over-monetization that the game has. But the hardcore fans, unfortunately, are now the minority. The casual majority rule this playground, and unfortunately, that dictates the trajectory of this franchise. The Black Sail Battle Pass was the third best-selling product on Steam at the release of Season 4. That right there is enough information for Activision. Boycotts won't work. Complaining won't work. Money talks, and they are getting a metric fuck ton of it. COD isn't changing for the better. It's only getting worse. It's only gonna get worse until it eventually dies.